Hello and welcome to Hank Games Without Hank. My name is John Green. I'm the manager of the Swindon Swoodilypoopers. Today we're taking on Crewe Alexandra in League One. Crewe Alexandra here in League One. Um, this is Andy Rooney's old team, so I'm letting Andy Rooney start today. Plus he asked. He was very polite about it. Here in FIFA 13, players ask if they can start. Andy Rooney, of course, he's very old. In fact, he's deceased. Um, but sort of come back to life to be a sort of charming 60 minutes style curmudgeon who is also a professional football player. He's very charming. I've enjoyed hanging out with him in the locker room. One of the few guys I've started to get to know. Who's that beautiful ginger? Oh, that's Andy Rooney. Andy's a ginger. Somebody's gonna be starting more often. You guys know about my long-standing preference for gingers. All right, there's Mr. Stuff shaking hands again. No touching in this game. Don't want to spread germs. Really proud of the guys. Really excited for this one. We of course have not won. We're in 8th place, but we have not won a game that you saw me play. I've only won games that I was playing in private during my transfer window. By the way, I still have some transferring to do. The transfer deadline is coming up very soon. So if you have any suggestions on that front, I am very interested to hear them. We are desperately in need of not necessarily strikers, but some defenders and just some generally. Oh, what a start! What a start! And it's John Green to John Green. John Green's ball, another John Green's. They love each other and they love our team. It's great to see them working together so much better because it means that their marriage is thriving. I mean, I always say that, you know, what you see on the pitch reflects what's happening off the pitch a lot of times. And right now, you just see two men deeply in love with each other, working hard for each other and for their team. And I think they're learning, they're learning to love the FIFA 13 Swoodilypoopers, as we all are. It's not something that happens overnight. Love is not just a feeling. Love is a decision. That's what they said at my Catholic engaged encounter when Sarah and I were getting married, which sounds like the most unromantic, dumb, lame thing that can possibly be said, but in fact, like I think that all the time. It's so deeply true, because feelings come and go, and decisions don't. Oh God, oh God. Green eggs and Fotheringham. Yes. Yeah. So, love is a decision because Yeah. Anyway. It sounds so unromantic to say, but in fact it is like a deeply romantic thing. And this very, really great kind of love that I truly recommend. Speaking of engaged encounters in the Catholic Church and more generally of religion, today's topic is religion and mental illness, which was suggested by Project for Awesome. Oh gosh! Oh gosh! Get off of him! He was holding ball, John Green. It's against the rules and it's also immoral. I'm sorry, Meredith, who suggested today's topic? I've been too into it. Luke Hall, which was suggested by Luke Hall. Thank you, Luke, for donating to the Project for Awesome. So, for the last, I don't know, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, we don't really know, years, the main way that we have viewed most of human life is through the lens of or at least a lot of human life, and certainly the life of the spirit or mental and the life of the psyche and everything is through the lens of religion. So that's where you get whirling dervishes and Sufism, or or the idea of possession in Christianity, or whatever. All those ideas, I think, come from, oh, that could have been, but it wasn't, and then it could have been again, but it wasn't again. All those ideas, I think, get their start from, using religion as the lens through which to view sort of like psychological and emotional experiences among humans. We're in big trouble, but everything is fine. Wesley Crusher Fotheringham made Leach Smith miss because he is crushingly intimidating. So, yeah, I think that's the that's the crux of the story to me, is that this is how we lived with mental illness for a long, long time. And in a lot of ways, it was unhelpful, and particularly, I think, in the last, say, 1,000 years, it was unhelpful. But like progressively more unhelpful. Certainly in the last like 50 years, with the emergence of like with the emergence of I guess in the post-Enlightenment world, with the emergence of the sort of, for lack of a better word, rivalry between science and religion, it can be really unhelpful because people can say like, oh, scientific ways of confronting mental illness aren't helpful, which I just don't agree with at all. I just think there's lots of evidence to the contrary. But that isn't to say that that is a definite foul, that religion-based ways of confronting mental illness aren't also useful. And in many cases, the underlying thing that's happening in religion-based ways of dealing with mental illness is very similar to what we now call cognitive behavioral therapy. It's very similar to learning to accept what's happening, learning to understand, sort of the perils of listening to your brain. Guys, don't fight! By the way, Mr. Richie, M. Richie, Lionel Richie. And then when he scores, we sing, "Hello, is it a goal you're looking for?" How was that? Was that good, Meredith? Yeah, was that on key and everything? Oh, yeah. Just wait till I'm screaming it. Poor Richie's probably going to score 2 goals all year. At our current pace, he's going to score none. But, yeah. Oh, that's a nice through ball. That's a nice through ball. Yes, yes, yes. Turn it around. Wait. And shoot! Oh, for the love of God. Oh, guys. Right to the end. Other John Green was sitting pretty right at the penalty spot, and he just could not get his hips around. You know how that is when you're trying to swing those hips and you just can't get that full hip rotation, and then you're in just a world of trouble. So, but to return to the topic of today's video, yes, my own experience with this, because I have, I'm both a religious person and someone who's lived with mental illness at various points in my life, is that, insofar as like pastoral, league best, he really is just a crusher. Insofar as the religious like paths into dealing with this stuff are in line with peer-reviewed research, they're very good and very helpful and very useful, and they work really well, at least for me. He wanted it! That was, by the way, that was Andy Rooney with this, up against his former team, Crewe Alexandra, and you could tell how bad he wanted it. And he forced the keeper into a good save, and I like the cut of Andy Rooney's jib. I'm just going to say it. He's irascible, is that a word? He's a little bit acerbic, but I like him. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Fotheringham! Oh, everything's fine. Everything's fine. I never want to have a goalkeeper with a different name ever again, because there is so much pleasure in saying the word Fotheringham. I cannot even explain it to you. I hope if you're watching right now, and you almost by definition are, I want you to say Fotheringham a few times. Just say it, just as an exclamation of joy and hope. It contains everything inside of you that you're wishing to be true. That's what I love about the word Fotheringham. Go! Oh, it was a nice release, but it was not quite nice enough for Bostock. Oh, but you know what? I like that we're working together a little bit more as a team. You can see the guys thinking 1 step ahead, not 2 steps ahead yet. To be full Swoodilypooper, we need to be 2 steps ahead, but we're thinking 1 step ahead. Yeah, so I'm a big believer in peer-reviewed studies telling us what works, and and I know that for some people, but with mental illness, what works is sometimes quite weird, and I don't really question it. Like, you wouldn't think, for instance, that Alcoholics Anonymous would have a particularly good record at dealing with alcoholism, and yet it does, and I don't really care why. I just care that. So, Oh! 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 Lionel Richie! You were so close! Oh, what? Oh, I just couldn't get those hips swung around. What am I doing wrong with the hips? I feel like all of my shots are just a little bit off target, and I've got good players, so they shouldn't be. Oh, Lionel Richie. Lionel Richie. Here's the Dread Pirate Fireball, Wilson Roberts. Oh, he can't get the cross in. He's dispossessed at the last second. Oh. Um. Oh, boy. Yeah, so basically, I continue to be a big believer in cognitive behavioral therapy and medication because for most mental illnesses, that's what works well. You know, there are some there. I think there are probably some things. You know, there are a number of mental illnesses that we're still not great at treating. And lots of people with depression, or even with major depressive disorder, struggle to find good treatment plans, and people with anxiety disorder struggle to find good treatment plans. But if you are perseverant and patient, I think there really is, in the moment when it's happening, when you're in the thick of it, it feels totally hopeless. But over the course of months, if you can be patient and generous to yourself and wait the months or weeks or however long it takes to figure out what the best treatment plan is going to be for you, then I think you actually, a lot these days, a lot more. Oh boy, whew, we almost gave up the goal. These days, a lot more mental illness is truly treatable. I don't want to say curable, but that it becomes much, much, much easier. Oh, Andy Rooney almost did it. Much, much easier to live with. Yeah, so I take a lot of hope in that. While we still use and benefit a lot from, I think, thinking about religious ways into confronting mental illness, we also have these great tools. All right, thanks for watching. Congratulations to the Swoodilypoopers on their first league win. We're on the path, friends. Best wishes.